know the saying, when someone hands you limes, you must make lemonade with it? Well, nature in this garden has handed us a lot of rocks, and we have taken advantage of that by using them to retain beds. And in this section, this is essentially our latest section of the garden that we have developed. It started out with just crotons as a boundary hedge, but that hedge became overgrown. And as I was acquiring a nice range of anthuriums and bromeliads, we thought we would do a rock garden of sorts in this last section of the garden to be developed. So about 2 months ago, we got the rocks together, we placed them in nice gentle swirling patterns, as you will understand that that's more pleasing to the eye in landscaping. And the plants we had in pots, we've placed them so that they can continue growing. And as soon as they've gotten to a stage, we will transfer them into the medium that goes among the rocks. So come along with me today. I'll show you some of the aspects of establishing a rock garden, and as time goes by, we will show you how it develops. At the highest level, we've used Tradescantia as the border plant to soften the appearance of rocks. There's a fair amount of sunlight, so we've planted bromeliads, the 3 types. Ah, isn't this a lovely bloom? Anthuriums are placed to the back of this bed where there is more shade. Chopped coconut husk, tree bark, and coarse compost provide a suitable growing media for the bromeliads, the anthuriums, and the orchids. A walkway separates this top bed from the next one. The border plant here is Mondo grass, although not a true grass, but it's a member of the lily family. Shade for the anthurium is provided by a canopy of colorful shrubs and by 2 fruit trees, carambola and sweetsop. Here's a periwinkle. There are 4 of them here, and that's an extra splash of color in the weeks to come. The 3rd bed contains an assortment of orchids. I'm waiting on some of them to bloom so I can identify them. There are some begonias scattered throughout here, and that gives a bit of color. And as I say, quite a few. There's a ground orchid, but as soon as they bloom, we'll be showing them to you. The next bed, we've introduced some bulbs. Here's Clivia, a very pretty one. There are about 2 or 3 plants in this area, and they do provide that color. There's an orchid that is oncidium with very long, nice flowering strands. That's a Hippeastrum. Hasn't bloomed as yet, and if it doesn't, we'll have to move it from this location. Luckily, it's in a pot. And here's the oncidium. See how long that flower stalk is? Sometimes up to 3 feet. And we've lined this bed with oncidiums at the back, so by next flowering season, it's going to be all covered in oncidium blooms. This other bed is under a soursop tree, which is quite tall, so it still allows in a lot of sunlight, and this is where we've placed those plants that like a bit more sun. That's a sun vanda, that's epidendrum. I think we have 2 colors of that, and as I say, I'm looking forward to them spreading so that we can plant more in the bed. And as the sunlight factor increases, we have added the bromeliads. There are probably 5 types of bromeliads in a holding area of sort. As soon as they send out pups, we will be spreading them around. And in this bed, the center plant, the anchoring plant, is a West Indian lime, which is recovering from a recent bout of the very serious citrus greening disease. So we're happy that it has made a comeback. From this vantage point, you can see how the beds meander up the slopes, and in due course, the mundo grass will cover most of the stones, giving a very soft appearance. And these backdrop trees we will keep in check so that the area does not become too shaded. And here we are, back to where we started. We've used 3 plants, the Anthurium, Orchid, and Bromeliad, that do not require soil as a medium for growth. We hope this gives you some ideas as to how you too can utilize a rocky location. That's it for today. If you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Please remember to subscribe and check out Calyx books on Amazon Kindle and Book Fusion. Until next time, bye bye.